Mariano's thinking.
This is Mariano, and he crushes this 5100 game for over 450 big blinds an hour. Read that again, 450 an hour. Most players pray just to survive a session. Mariano treats the table like an ATM that owes him money, and he never stops withdrawing. One man keeps stepping in front of him. Texas San keeps coming back for more and keeps paying for the privilege. 6.5 hours on stream. Nearly 3,000 big blinds. One pot swelling to a 185,000. Skill or the greatest heater ever streamed. Let's start with the first hand. 7 players at the felt, deep stacks, and this table has been swinging. Texas San raises to 2,000 with ace 8 suited. Jack C calls 2,000 on the button with king jack. That's a hand that flops well and beats the suited connectors, calling behind him, but it's dominated by ace king, and ace jack, the second real money, goes in. Mariano calls from up front with pocket 8s. Mike X jams 27,300 with pocket 9s from the low jack, laying about 50%. Suited ace, live cards, decent price, that's the honest read, but there's still a full stack sitting behind him with a decision to make. Anyone calling is rarely crushing anything. Racing pairs dominated by ace king. That's why folding is live here. What would you do? 2 stacks are already in the middle, and the decision now belongs to the players who still have chips behind. Position stops mattering here. It's pure hand strength. Think about what a short stack jam over a raise and a call actually looks like. Pairs and big aces. Nobody ships junk into 3 players who all want to play. Mariano's range from up front is the tightest at this table. Pairs and strong broadways, nothing speculative, and with 3 players in, the pot's already worth fighting over. Big Mike and Turbo get out of the way, and we see a flop. Bottom set, Mike Eeks. Mariano calls 26,100. Think about his range for a second. If I'm Mariano, my 8s beat every unpaired hand out there, the ace kings, the king jacks, and lose to 9s through aces. It's the dead money that makes this a call, not my pair. Are you folding that? We go to the turn, they both need a 7. Brick. The ace hands Texas San top pair. Off to the river we go. Still needing that 7, brick again. The 4 is a total blank. Mariano calls 16,000, and we go to showdown. Mike X takes it down for 70,000, and here's the lesson. Mariano's call was priced correctly and still lost. That's not a bad call, that's an unlucky one. Texas San's shove is the one that actually cost him. Judge the decision, not the result. Good calls lose all the time. 7 players at the felt, and this table has been throwing chips around all night. Turbo is the one who ramps up the price. Turbo raises to 2,000 from the cutoff, Jack 10 suited. Texas San calls a 2,000 on the button with ace 3, that beats pure air, it loses to every better ace and every pocket pair behind. This decision takes over 2 minutes. With a raise and a call already in front, the marginal hands are the hardest ones to price. Mariano calls from the straddle with 7-5 suited. The flop comes down. Mariano's second pair now leads Texas San's bottom pair. Mariano checks it over to the raiser. Turbo fires 4,500 into it, 2/3 pot, laying about 29% to anybody who wants to keep going. Standard. Texas San calls the 4,500. Bottom pair with an ace kicker beats a busted Broadway hand and loses to every queen out there. He's paying to find out. Turbo comes right back over the top. 14,500. Huge. And Mariano raises again, 16,000. If I'm Mariano, I'm repping queens and sets, and every weak queen has to think. If I'm Mariano, I don't have a hand yet. I have a plan. I beat busted king jack air, I'm crushed by ace queen or pocket 3s. My 5 blocks some of those sets. Would you fire 16,000? Turbo folds. That's the discipline release right there. A raise war on a dry queen high board, nobody left in this pot is telling a cheap story anymore. 2 players just told him they had it. He said, let's find out. Bottom pair beats the semi-bluffs and loses to every queen. 11,500 to continue with bottom pair. Ace queen 5-3, pocket queens all crush him, only the busted draws pay him off. The turn is a 5. Trip 5s for Mariano, 2 pair 5s and 3s for Texas San. Mariano leads out for 27,500. He isn't scared of anything now. If I'm Texas San, the queens and the turn 2 pairs simply cannot fold. If I'm Texas San, nobody on the planet puts me on a 5. I raise that flop like a set, so ace queen with 2 pair now, and the pocket 8s that floated all keep calling. Only pocket queens have me beat. Small blocker bet or take the money. I'm taking the money. 27.5 to call is a real number. Every queen in this spot has a genuine decision now. On a paired board, the hands that most want to call are exactly the ones that just improved. Nothing here is cheap anymore. If I'm Texas San, he's dancing on a tightrope with no net, and I don't like this spot at all. Texas San folds. He lets the ace go. Mariano drags in 70,000. He check-raised that flop with nothing but a plan, and the board paid him off later. That flop call is the money that just walked across the table. Cheap suited connectors print when you're willing to raise them, not just call. After that pot, Mariano is up 116,475 on the night. Deep stacks all around and everyone's coming in for the same price. Loose, sleepy table to Texas. San calls 1,000. Tilted Prince calls. Ryan calls 2. Mariano raises to 7,000 from the big blind with pocket 7s. 3 players already in for 1,000 each, so 7 isn't folding anybody out. That raise is about building a pot, not winning it right now. Turbo calls the 7,000 with Queen Jack suited. Right now it's just Queen high, behind every pocket pair, behind any ace, but suited Broadway cards are exactly what you want in a big multi-way pot. Texas San calls 6 more. Tilted Prince calls. Ryan calls. 5-way. And the flop comes down ace high with 2 hearts. Ryan checks. Mariano checks behind him. Turbo checks. Texas San checks. And Tilted Prince checks it through. The turn is next. Turbo needs a heart. That's not a heart. Brick. Ryan checks. Mariano checks again, and Turbo takes the lead for 15,000. Quarter pot, laying about 19%, and Ryan's gut shot has 4 outs. Ryan gets out of the way. About 40 seconds pass, and he still hasn't moved. If I'm Mariano, that bet is a hard draw, an ace, or pocket 8s. And there are still 2 players sitting behind him who check that flop, so neither of them is telling him much. Turbo is the only one who's shown any aggression all hand, 1 bet into 4 players, on a board nobody wanted. Mariano just calls 15. Texas San folds, Tilted Prince folds, heads up. And that takes us to the river. Turbo still needs a heart. No heart. Mariano checks and Turbo ships it. 60,000, way over the size of the pot. That is absolutely fearless. That number is screaming straight or set. Consider what he's actually up against. Back on the turn he could have raised. Charge the hearts. Protect the hand. He chose to hide instead, and hiding sells a free card. He beats every busted heart draw. What would you do here? This is the whole hand right here. 2 hearts. If I'm Mariano, the busted heart draws that fold to this are the exact cards I'm holding. Big story, wrong audience. Nobody bet that ace high flop, so nobody's supposed to have an ace here. Then a 7, then a 9 that quietly finishes the straights. Mariano calls the 60,000. Mariano wins a 185,000 pot. When the shove is too big for the hands it claims, it's usually air. And that's the session. 8 hands with Mariano, and when the chips settled, he was up 219,750. Every one of those spots came down to reading the room and trusting the line. And honestly, watching him work is the best poker lesson you'll get for free. So which hand was your favorite? Drop it in the comments and let me know. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, stay safe and check raise your rivers.